The most interesting thing about medium of anime is that it is not bound by any normal rules of live action and cinemas. A writer can be as creative as they want with the plot of the story or the characters involved in it. The goofy character designs of One Piece and the unreal violence of Berserk are the perfect examples of this. Anti-heroes are prevalent in the anime. They do not follow the normal formula of just a moral hero the viewers can expect from the most shows. From martyrs to Lelouch to a bloodthirsty vampire like Alucard, here are the top 10 anti-heroes in the anime of all time. So without any further ado, let's start with our video. On the 10th number, the character name is Scar. Scar is a decidedly brooding, vicious and angry man, almost totally consumed by hatred towards the people who destroyed his homeland. Knowing full well that his actions goes against many of the teachings of his religion, he still fashions himself as an agent of God's divine punishment and takes out his fury on state Alchemist. As a result, he abandons his birth name, which Ishvalence considers gift from God. Unfortunately, this escalates into a monomaniac hatred of state Alchemist to a point that he even targets Edward Elric, who was never part of the war and is a champion of the people. Scar is also intelligent and able to comprehend complex and advanced alchemical texts and concepts despite having never studied the craft, and is an adequate tactician capable of immediately identifying and assessing his opponent's weaknesses in combat. On the 9th number, the character name is Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Spiegel is a former member of the Red Dragon crime syndicate who lived by faking his death after falling in love with a woman called Julia. The criminal organization becomes a kind of like a family for the Spike, and thanks to his skills, he manages to become in a short time one of the top men, even being considered by many in the Red Dragon to someday be the leader. He loses his right eye in the unknown accident, which occurs in a mission on behalf of the Red Dragon, after which he was implanted an artificial eye. Spike has many talents and abilities, including very sharp eyesight, abnormally acute perception, and extraordinary luck. It implies that he has a little trouble recovering from even fatal injuries after a few days and usually have a strong endurance against pain during fights. On the 8th number, the character name is Accelerator from a certain magical index. Accelerator is the first rank level 5 of the strongest Esper currently residing in Academy City. He is the second protagonist of the science side of Toaru Majutsuno Index series. Firstly appearing chronologically in Toaru Majutsuno Index as an antagonist, he later becomes the male protagonist of the science side after Kamijo Toma defeats him. In his role as a protagonist, he is forced to deal with the cruel dark side of Academy City and the secret conspiracies surrounding it. As the most powerful Espers of the Academy City, his existence and powers are tied to the plans of Alistair Crowley, the founder of Academy City, along with Kamijo Toma. On the 7th number, the character name is Hei. Hei is also known as Black Reaper or BK201, who is a human who gained contractor powers. He has worked with various organizations including Syndicate and CIA. He is the older brother of Bai. Before he became the contractor, Hei was a caring older brother who looked after his sister Bai as her guardian despite his young age. During a meteor shower, his sister became a contractor with the ability to control and change the matter on the molecular level, causing her to become the original BK201. Soon after, Bai was recruited into a syndicate. Although Hei hated killing, he became a mercenary in order to watch over and be with his sister. Due to his exceptional capabilities in martial arts, improvised weaponry and speed, he became feared even among the contractors, earning the title of Black Reaper. However, as Heaven's War went on, he became appalled by his sister's action and began having thought of killing her. But his love for Bai always prevented him from doing so. On the 6th number, the character name is Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate. Alucard is the main protagonist of the Hellsing series created by Kota Hirano. He is the most powerful weapon of the Hellsing organization, which works against vampires and other such supernatural forces. Alucard is no merry vampire. It has been implied that he is the most powerful vampire alive and maybe the most powerful character in the series, rivaled only by the Captain and Alexander Anderson. As a true vampire, Alucard is inherently stronger. To start, his gun jackal and capsule are far too unwieldingly for a human to hold, let alone use, but he does both with ease. He has been seen going up barehanded against even some of the supernatural weapons and have destroyed them. such as Tubelkin's magic cards. Alucard is too fast for the human eyes to follow, but some of the empires can see him and keep up with him. Alucard is an exceedingly lethal combatant even when unarmed. Alucard is exceedingly lethal combatant even when unarmed due to his extensive supernatural abilities and strength, but he also uses various weapons in battles too. On the 5th number, the character name is Vegeta from Dragon Ball series. Vegeta is the prince of fallen Saiyan race and one of the main characters of Dragon Ball series. Legal, egotistical and full of pride, Vegeta was once a ruthless, cold-blooded warrior and outright killer, but later abandoned his roles in the Frieza's force, instead opting to remain and live on the earth. His characters evolves from villains to anti-heroes, then to a hero through the course of the series, repeatedly fighting alongside with the universe's most powerful warriors in order to protect his new home and surpass Goku in power. Vegeta is arrogant throughout the series and becomes bitter due to the abuse his race has suffered from the hands of Frieza. Following the destruction of his homeworld planet Vegeta, his hatred towards Frieza has grown so much. His royalty seems to have bestowed upon him as an inflated sense of superiority, holding himself above nearly everyone he encounters. He is immensely proud of his Saiyan heritage and believes his race is the most powerful one in the universe. On the 4th number, the character name is Light Yagami from Death Note. Light Yagami is the main protagonist of the Death Note series. After discovering the Death Note, he decides to use it to rid the world of the criminals. His killings are eventually labeled by the people living in Japan as a work of Kira. Light is characterized as hardworking, talented and natural genius, highly perceptive and good with problem-solving skills. His high intelligence and constant praise from the adults laid the foundation for an intense level of hubris which quickly took effect once he obtained the notebook. Additionally, the series shows the Light was not born remorseless. Light demonstrated compassion, a reluctant to manipulate others and an intense unwilling to kill. Once his memory returns, however, he reverses back to his ruthless Kira persona and remains that way until his death. On the 3rd number, the character name is Guts from Berserk. Guts, who is renowned as a black swordman and is a former mercenary and branded wanderer who travels the world in a constant internal struggle between pursuing his own ends and upholding his attachment to those dear to him. At one time driven solely by his will to survive, Guts finds purpose in life upon joining the bands of the Falcon, greatly helping in the faction's storied successes. During the 100 Years of War as a captain of the Band Raiders, he eventually becomes dissatisfied with clinging to the Griffith's dreams and departs from the band in pursuit of his own dreams. Following the horrors of the eclipse prompted by Griffith, Guts embarks on a 2-year war against Godhand and Apostles, becoming increasingly embittered on his one-track quest for the retribution. He in time realizes that protecting his regressed lover is more important to him, as well as something he cannot do alone, and thus he puts aside his quest for revenge while fostering his new companions. On the 2nd number, the character name is Lelouch Lamperouge from Code Geass. Lelouch V. Britannia is the main protagonist of the series called as Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion. Lelouch is a highly intelligent individual who is also calm, sophisticated and arrogant due to his aristocratic upbringings. While at school, Lelouch conducts himself as a sociable, likable and often easygoing student. However, this is really a mask to hide his true nature. While as Zero, his true intentions and nature is expressed. His charisma and beliefs in justice gains him the trust and respects of many soldiers and leaders. He was 11th Prince of the Holy Britannian Empire and the son of 98th Emperor of Britannia, Charles Z. Britannia. He was also the leader and the founder of the Black Knight and the real identity of Zero. This character was chosen as the most popular male character of 2006 to 2007 and 2008 too at Amigame Magazine's annual Anime Grand Prix. And on the 1st number, the biggest anti-hero that you will ever see is Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager was the former member of the Survey Corps and he was the main protagonist of the Attack on Titan. He lived in Shiganshina district with his parents until the fall of Wall Maria, where he importantly witnessed his mother being eaten by a Titan. After finding the basement and unlocking his father's memories, Eren learned about the truth of what the Titans are as well as the history of Eldia and Marley. Eren then vowed to free his home from the true enemy and the rest of the humanity that lives across the ocean. Eren possesses the power of 3 titans. From his father, Eren inherited the attack and the founding titan, and after eating the younger sister of Willy Tybug during the raid of Liberio, he gained the Wallhammer titan as well. I am not gonna talk much about why he is the best antagonist of all time because there are like 2 months more remaining for season 4 part 2 to release, so I don't want to spoil you guys. But in short, if I will tell you, he turns into the biggest anti-hero that you will ever see in your entire anime career. And yeah, that was for the video guys. That was the video about top 10 best anime anti-heroes of all time. Do you have any other characters that you would like to add in this list? Let me know about those things in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.